Well, let's do it this way. When I talk about rollers in a ZW, see how that rolls across the face of the coil. The farther to that end you get, the more voltage. Back down here, the less voltage. Well, look at that roller. See how it's got some grooves in it? I'll probably leave that one in there because I don't really use the inside throttle that often. Except, if I leave it, okay, where's the mark? No, right there. There's the mark right there, 12. So I'll take my voltmeter and see if it registers at 14 volts, which is about half tapping on the coil. And if it's accurate, this one here is independent from this one. This one I would leave to say power my accessories. So all my lights are 14 volts. So I'd leave one at 14 volts. This one, if accessories needed a little bit more, 16. And then if I ran another ZW, which I normally do when I'm running 4 trains, because I like to have whistle on this throttle, whistle on this throttle, and then I have another transformer identical so that there's 4 whistles. This side don't control whistle or horn. So with that one set for lights, say 14 volt, I would take this one and run it up to about 16 volt, maybe 15 and a half, to say run the coaling station or the man in the house. This runs off track power, so it just depends. So we'll look at this roller for the inside throttle. It still looks alright. I ain't gonna fret over that one. But being that that's the inside throttle, it don't get used as often. So the wear is acceptable. That is a bad roller. That carbon transfers the electrical tap off the wherever you're tapping off the coil. This is the tap. What happens is these arms start digging into the copper face, the windings, and when they're not replaced, you could end up cutting the actual wraps, so that the actual copper wire. Now this is the outside throttles. They get used the most. Look at that one. It's basically just off of the arm. So what I like to do is I'll pull that out. I'll take a piece of heavy gauge wire or something and just pull that back. Alright? That's been rubbing a while. So okay, that's what it should look like. So, rolly, thump. I have these rollers. I have like 8 of them left. That last transformer I got didn't need them. They're still good. But you gotta think. These were made. I actually think this one, somebody put a different top on it because this coil isn't riveted. It's an older model, so with the red, I'm thinking it's got to be, would that be 48, 47, 48, 49, and then in 50 they went to the regular, this one. But oh, no, don't show on that one. In 50, they went to the more, like the one I just showed. I think somebody put a different top on this one. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to do a little more research. But because I can't remember, I messed with this stuff a while ago and I just can't remember. But so what we'll do, pull that out, needle nose pliers, bust up this carbon. I mean, it's sintered, copper sintered carbon. It's contact. Simple. Reach in there, have it held back, reach in there with a pair of specially designed pliers I made with a grinder to snip that rivet. That's just a rivet. And the new rollers come with new rivets. And yeah, you just crunch it up. But what I think I'm going to do is I actually have to replace the cord. So you see that? I took the handle, these, they're insulated, and stuck between that cord and made sure it wasn't touching any metal, plugged it in, it works. So, but yeah, changing rollers ain't a big deal. I mean, it kind of is if you've never done it before. Being that I'm down this far into this one, I may pull these whistle rectifiers. This copper disc is all it rectifies AC to DC to make horns or whistles blow. And there's one on this side. And I usually just swap those out for actual diodes. What are they, 40 or 50 amp diodes, stud diodes that thread right in that hole where that speed nut is. Then you solder the wire to it. It's not bad. But not many people around here does this stuff anymore, so actually I think somebody actually painted that red. Well, they could have changed the handles. Why wouldn't they have painted the inside throttles red? Anyway, the latest eBay acquirement. So from, if this was with the nameplate there, the big one would be like that. Would be 1950 to 1969. Let me see if the other one is here. Yep, right here. This would be 1947, 48, and I believe 49, and then in 50 they went to this. I kind of like that with the old, what do they call that, kind of, not the script, but where it says the Lionel Corporation. What do they call that, Art Deco? I like that script. But getting back to this one, I actually think this possibly is that one I just showed you with a different top on it. But I'm not quite sure. Yeah, this moves around quite a bit. But the last video I showed the shipping and how it arrived. I'll have to look. I mean, to quiet them up, you can take like a old deck of cards. If you're worried about the buzzing, which I actually like it, transformer buzzing. You take a card, a playing card, and fold it until you get a nice snug fit, and then it won't buzz. That's all that is. Just taking up a little bit of slop in it. So, but yeah, saved another one, or going to be saving another one. So ZWs. There's one in a box right there. A W. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's another one on behind me. So I shouldn't be lacking for a while. I'm gonna hang on to them, I guess. Obviously, these from 47 to 69, or at least this style, 50 to 66. That 66 is what it is, I believe. So, yeah. They just don't make stuff like they used to. Everything now has electronics in it, and it is not as robust. Electronics fail. We all know it, but we all continue to buy it. I refuse to buy anything after 66 or 69, actually. I like my post-war stuff. The new stuff, like I say, is nice, but it's never going to last this long. With all the circuitry and basically everything made in China, you just don't get this simplicity. Everything has to get complicated. Keep it simple. Traditional track. Should have never quit making it. Menards make it. It's available at Menards, reasonable. I actually have in my collection Menards track that is, I've had since 2016, 042 curves, an update to some 054, and maybe get another batch of 042, do some different things, but I still have original. Like I say, what's that say? Lionel, New York. Newer stuff. Well, that's a piece of Menards track. It's China track, but you can't, unless you go on eBay and buy used stuff like this. That's the new alternative. So it is very reasonable. Like if you just want to do an oval under the Christmas tree, that'd be the way to go, and not get a lot into it, you know. But yeah, just a hobby.